Welcome to the AFR Saints channel, where we provide you daily content on your favorite team, the New Orleans Saints. Do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to leave your comments below and smash that like button. Who dat? Part of draft weekend, of course, is the undrafted free agents. It's a big part. And the Saints over the years have had a lot of success with undrafted free agents. Every year, there are guys who make the team as undrafted free agents. It's just always been the case. If you want to go back to Pierre Thomas back in 2007 and talk about significant players that were undrafted free agents over the years, even up to now with Taysom Hill, who is an undrafted free agent, or your specialists, Lutz and Gillikin, both were undrafted. Guys like Shai Tuttle or Marquez Callaway or Malcolm Roach or Calvin Throckmorton. I mean, the Saints have Deontay Harris, the Saints have always found guys through their scouting that go undrafted, that fit a need, and they bring them to New Orleans and give them an opportunity to win a job. And I don't think that this year will be any different. When I was reading through the bios so the Saints signed 17 undrafted free agents. I'm not going to bore you with this, but I'm just going to read like a little blurb from all these different bios and see if what caught my attention catches yours. 5-year letterman for Texas Tech, played in 55 games. 4-year letterman for Michigan, played in 35 games. 4-year letterman, 3-year starter, played in 50 career games with 25 starts. 5-year letterman at Cincinnati, played in 64 career games. 5-year letterman at Ohio State, played in 52 career games. 5-year letterman at Nevada and Utah, played in 44 games. Started 48 of 50 games. 48 consecutive starts at guard and tackle. You get the theme? The Saints, with their undrafted free agents, signed a whole bunch of dudes that have played a ton of football. Experienced, veteran dudes that didn't just play, but started and were all conference and were dudes. That's what stands out. It's not the guy who left school after 3 years early, was a little too raw, and didn't play many games, but wanted to make the leap. It's dudes that have been around for 4 and 5 years and played in 40 and 50 games, and they're looking for experience. Experience and maturity, and guys that are going to take this opportunity seriously to come win a job. If we think about what we were all looking for going into the draft, obviously we were looking at receiver and tackle. They handled that in round 1. We talked a lot about safety, and maybe Alontae Taylor from Tennessee will end up playing safety. We know the Saints have signed Tyrann Mathieu, so that seems to be solidified for now. We talked about tight end. We talked about running back. We talked about defensive tackle. They did take a defensive tackle late in the draft, but what was interesting for me when I looked at the list of 17 undrafted free agents, no defensive linemen. The Saints did not sign a defensive lineman in undrafted free agency, despite the success of guys like Tuttle and Roach and undrafted free agents who have played for this team. They must feel like they're settled there on the defensive line. Something we probably don't talk enough about is Peyton Turner. In a weird kind of roundabout way, the Saints kind of are actually getting an extra first-round pick this year because you didn't get anything from Peyton Turner last year. If he's healthy, you've got another first-rounder who you haven't seen play yet this year, who steps in right away and can play inside or out. So I was surprised they didn't sign a defensive tackle, but they must feel okay there. The players that stand out the most to me, number 1 is Abram Smith. Abram Smith was a dude at Baylor this year. He rushed for a single season record 1,621 yards. He was 5th nationally with 12 touchdowns. I mean, he was second-team All-American. He was awesome. They even asked him late in the season, Dave Aranda did, to play linebacker. So a running back who ran for 1,600 yards And they asked him late in the season to play linebacker, and he ended up having 48 tackles and a sack. Athletic, team guy, willing to do whatever. The Saints did not address running back in the draft. This dude has an awesome opportunity. And according to Aaron Wilson at Pro Football Network, the Saints have guaranteed him $222,000. Remember, your undrafted free agent class, you have a pool of money to spend on all of them combined. So if you're going to commit $222K to one player, you better believe they think he's going to make this team. They also committed that same amount of money to Rasheed Shaheed. Rasheed Shaheed, 5-year letter winner at Weber State. But this is the kicker. The FCS all-time leader in kickoff returns for touchdowns, and Weber State's all-time leader in kickoff return average at 29.1 yards per return. We can talk about Shaheed, the receiver, 6 foot 180. I'm not interested in that. He's here to be a return man. You got Deontay Hardy, but in the same mold. A guy from a smaller school who set every return record that there is. Give me a guy with those skins on the wall that knows how to be effective and is unafraid in the return game. Maybe it's one of those things where Deontay Hardy returns punts, Rasheed Shaheed returns kicks. Don't know. Don't know how they'll make it work. But that's why he's here. That's why they paid him that money, to make an impact on special teams, because the Saints will put an emphasis in there. The other player I think that's interesting is Lucas Crowell. Lucas Crowell is the tight end from Pittsburgh, and we've talked a lot about the Saints needing help at tight end. Yes, you've got Troutman, you've got Vanette there, but you need more from that position. Crowell's 6'6", 260. He actually was he was drafted by the San Francisco Giants and played professional baseball before transitioning fully to football. He played 2 years at Florida, then 2 years at Pitt, and was actually a pitcher at Jefferson College, Missouri. So he went to Florida, then to JUCO to play baseball, and now finished his career as with 2 seasons at Pittsburgh, and was second team All ACC. Big body tight end, your prototype 6'6", 260 big body dude that can athletic enough to catch and run, but also big enough and physical enough to block. So when you think about the dominant modern tight ends, not the athletic pass catchers, but when you think about guys like Gronk and Kittle and Kelsey, he looks more like them. And the Saints are missing that. And maybe this guy could be it. So a couple of the names that I'm interested in undrafted free agency. Smoke Monday is a name that's going to be familiar to people around here. Safety from Auburn, who was a highly productive player during his time there on the Plains. According to Pro Football Focus, the Saints guaranteed him $120,000 at signing. And a guy who played in 50 games at Auburn with 25 starts and is on the all-name team as well. So some of the guys to keep an eye on out of undrafted free agency who are going to be in rookie camp and in training camp trying to earn a job and a roster spot here with the New Orleans Saints. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact. And be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.